Hello, everybody. It's Chastity White Rose here, and I have another live stream. This wasn't really planned, but I have some things on my mind that I'd like to talk about. And I use live streams and videos in a way differently than most people do, because most people who record videos are trying to push a certain political viewpoint or they're trying to make money, and people always talk about, well, you should do videos and have a YouTube channel and monetize it. It's like, I don't do that shit because, first of all, I'm probably going to get banned from YouTube. It's only a matter of time because of the opinions that I do have. And so here's the thing. I want to talk about how nothing is real anymore. People in society are not real. But I'm very real, and my friends who have talked to me directly know this about me. People who've seen me know how real I am and that I say what I really think. Now, for example, so I previously did a live stream where I had responded to the fact that a coworker had asked me about the vaccine mandate, Biden's vaccine mandate, and what I was going to do. And first of all, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to reveal his name. We actually had a talk. I did send the link to my last live stream to him, so he knows what I said in that. But here's the point: is that I learned something in my previous government job. Is that you should not provide personal information to someone, or especially anything that's really confidential, personal. You should not reveal it to someone who doesn't have a need to know. And so, first of all, my coworker, he did not need to know. He doesn't need to know my vaccination status, nor does he need to know what I'm going to do if the vaccine mandate takes effect where I work. He doesn't need to know that. But he's curious and nosy, and I'll leave it at that. But the fact is, that's a discussion between me and my managers, not me and another person. But there's just no privacy anymore. Everybody's in everyone's business. And here's the thing about it, is that people don't mind their own business very much. And yes, people who you are in a relationship with, your family, your friends, people who know you, you share things with them. Now, I had a good friend call me recently, or I think I called him, I'm not even sure, who asked me my opinions about the vaccines and all this COVID stuff. And he asked me my opinions. I'm not going to be sharing my opinions in this video about COVID or the vaccines, because that's not the point of what I'm going for. Plus, I would just get banned. But we talked on the phone, and I told him what I know and my personal reasons for not taking the COVID vaccines. And sure, other people are curious, but you know what? They don't get to know that because they don't know me. I feel like if you want to know me, you got to know all of me. And the point of this video is that people are not real anymore. You have a very limited view. I'm limited in what I can say. We live in a communist type of censorship environment on social media and the internet these days. See, you can't go and interact with people in person, because everywhere you go, people think you have COVID and you have to wear masks, or you have to show proof of vaccination and all this stuff. So I'm basically banned from interacting with people in society. I'm still allowed to work my job right now without taking a vaccine. We'll see if that changes. Who knows? So who knows what will happen? I don't know. I don't want to try to predict the future because it's too depressing. But here's the thing is, just so you know, we're not allowed to interact in society with people anymore. But then even on the internet, which used to be a place where we had some freedom of speech and people used to be able to share what they thought, through writing or videos or audio podcasts. And I used to do a lot of podcasts with groups of co-hosts and stuff. But you know, those times are gone. And so what you need to know, anybody who sees this video, what you need to know is that I'm telling you what I think about how nobody's real anymore. That's what I'm telling you right now. But then you also need to know that there are opinions that I'll just have my YouTube channel deleted by YouTube if they don't like what I say. So that's why I say we're living under communism. You know, it's like it's crazy. So you know you're not getting the full story. You know that you're not getting the full story. And my close friends, you know, they can call me. They can, you know, they can at least private message me as long as that's still allowed on Facebook as well, and I can respond to their questions directly. But I'm not allowed to publicly tell you what I think about things. But at the same time, I have been a person who overshares. I know I've overshared. I probably have shared way too much of my own personal life in my videos. And that's because, you know, I was so lonely and I had no one to talk to, no friends really. And then, and to be honest, you know, I have some good online friends, but, you know, there's just, you know, things just, it's kind of weird because, you know, friendships seem to be based largely around certain topics and certain things. You know, some people that I'm friends with that I talk to, you know, are vegans. That's how we connect, you know. And I've done podcasts with people. I mean, it's no secret that, you know, people like you know, Pafo, Monique, and Jamie are good friends. Obviously, they're like my three best online friends. And of course, there's my mother and there's my roommate River. You know, so I have a very small circle of people who really know who I am, who have talked to me at length about a variety of things. And the rest of the public doesn't get to know who I am. That's not a privilege they get because anyone who wants to really know who I am, they can. You know, it's not hard. Especially, all you got to do is look at all my past videos on YouTube, as long as they're still up. But nothing's real anymore because we have a limited filter view. You know, look, people they show only the best of themselves. You know, they record videos, they edit them, they use filters to make themselves look better. You know, and Instagram photos, people are, you know, they do all kinds of filters. Nobody even wants to show what their body even looks like anymore. You don't know what people's face looks like anymore. Everyone wants to use FaceApp or Facetune or Photoshop or whatever people are using. Nobody knows what anybody looks like. We've forgotten what real humans look like. You know, we've forgotten what real opinions are like. And the thing is, I will say this, you know, my coworker who asked me a series of questions about the vaccine issue, I'm not mad that he asked. I'm just mad that he continued to press the issue in front of my manager when I said I didn't want to speak about it. That's what I'm mad about. But the larger point is that a topic like that, we don't, you know, I can't talk about at work because at work I'm not real. You know, because I'm there for a job. I try to focus on watering the plants, cutting the flowers, selling things to customers. I focus on my job while I'm at work. And that's not where I get into, you know, my opinions on politics or religion or vaccines or any other issue. I keep focused on the plants and the customers. That's what I do at work, you know. And so you're not going to get the truth from me when you ask me a question at work, because that's not the place we talk about that. And if you really wanted to know, you have my phone number. You could even come over here. I wouldn't mind having them come over and visit me at my apartment. We talk over some things. I wouldn't mind. We could be friends if we weren't enemies. But seriously, you have to take the effort to get to know someone. And let me tell you, this has been a very strange time in my life. And I really like living with my roommate, River. You know, even though he doesn't always do the smartest things, like this morning he lost his wallet. That's a long story. I'm not going to get into that whole thing. But speaking of finances, There is something I do want to talk about, though, and I think this is an issue that touches all of us, and the subject is taxation. Now, I have open here on my computer, I have my pay stub of my paycheck for tomorrow. And get this, so the week of September 12th, that week, I worked 41 hours, and I worked 36 hours on the week after that. So that's a total of 77 hours. Yeah, yep, 77.8 hours I worked. So I worked 77 hours between those 2 weeks. How much do you think I got paid? Well, my gross pay would have been it would have been 972.33. That's how much the gross pay would have been. Guess how much my net pay, the amount of money I actually get, is $740.69. Less than my rent. I kid you not. I work 77 hours at work, and it doesn't even cover my rent, because now a small portion is deducted from my medical insurance, and then my 401k. I think I have like 5% going to that as well. But the bulk of it is the taxes. The taxes that don't benefit me at all is $136.87. And if I didn't have those taxes being taken out, I could pay off my credit card. So I worked my ass off for 77 hours the previous 2 weeks or whatever, and my paycheck doesn't even cover my rent. And today is the 23rd. Tomorrow I get paid is the 24th, and I won't have enough money in my account to cover my rent. So I'm upset financially, and this taxation thing gets me very angry, because I've never really spoken in my videos about the subject of taxation, but nobody likes taxation because it's literally, it's when you have to pay taxes to the government and it's taken out of your paycheck, it's literally no different. It's no different than if a burglar had broken into my house and stolen $136.87 out of my wallet. That's literally what taxation is. Taxation is theft. But people have various opinions on the taxation issue. Well, some people say, well, without taxes, how would we pay for the roads? Who would pay the fire department or the post office, or how would people get their Medicaid or Medicare, all that stuff? Well, here's the thing about that. First of all, not everybody can get help with those programs anyway, even though, like, Americans probably pay trillions in taxes, probably. I mean, like, it's just crazy, because I feel like nobody likes taxes, and some people justify taxes and say, oh, well, these things are paid by taxes, whereas if, we didn't have these, then these programs wouldn't exist to help people. Well, first of all, most of our taxes just makes the politicians rich and doesn't help anybody, and funds abortion, vaccines, and war, all three of which I am against. So my money is literally stolen from me by the government and used to pad the pockets of rich politicians, and used to fund wars, abortions, vaccines, and other things that I probably don't even approve of. And that's the worst thing in the world. What's worse? Well, yeah, I'm sure I can think of something worse, actually. So it's not the worst, but it's pretty bad to steal somebody's money and then go use it to pay for things that person is personally morally against. So that's the thing about it, is that's pretty evil. So what I'm telling you is what the government does to all of us citizens is very evil. So as you can tell, I basically am not a fan of the government. And in fact, that's why I'm glad that I no longer work my previous job because, you know, sure it was a good paying job, but then it ruined my knee. My knee still hurts, by the way, when I'm on it very much. So my knee may be permanently destroyed. At least I can walk. But that job made me miserable, and it wasn't worth the money. But I sure wish I had that income level. But even when I had that job, I had to pay about $300 in taxes every paycheck. That was insane. If I had all that money back, like man, I'd be doing good. You know, and get this, I basically have no retirement fund either because my 401k is my 401k that I originally had with Hy-Vee from working 7 years with Hy-Vee at my previous store. I had to pay $2,000 to $3,000 of tax penalty because I had to withdraw it early to pay for my surgery, for my orchiectomy, and I had to live off that money because I lost months worth of work from my knee injury, and I only got a very small amount of workers' compensation. So I actually have a lawyer working on a case about that. I'm not sure if that's going to help at all. But I'm in financial ruin, and I hate the government. And now Biden is trying to force vaccination on me and another 80 million Americans. And I have an alcoholic roommate who loses his wallet because he's drunk and doesn't know what he's doing. And this is just the real life. This is just the real life, okay? And my roommate heard me and he laughed because this is real life. This is what real life is like. You know, I'm a good employee. I always show up for work. I do my job, but then my paycheck doesn't even cover my rent because the government steals money from me through taxation, and then I have medical bills. Oh man, I didn't even mention the medical bills. I have medical bills because guess how much? Okay, I don't know because I'm getting things processed through my Hy-Vee insurance, which hopefully will help. But I don't have extra money to pay whatever's left anyway because I just told you how I'm in financial ruin. But like about $1,000 just for my lab test. It's like you tested my hormone levels. Why are you charging me for me to pay off those medical bills and still pay my rent and bills and pay off my credit card? I am in financial hell. Like this is sad. And here's the thing about this. This isn't my fault. It's not my fault that the government steals my money and that I had a knee injury and was treated like shit by my previous job and had to live off of my 401k, but my options are limited, and I still have enough left in my money market account that I can transfer to my main bank account, so my rent won't bounce. I'll be able to pay my rent, but I am mad. I'm mad at the government for forcing vaccines and making stupid rules about masks and all this COVID Bolshevik that I don't believe in. You know, I don't even believe a lot of the stuff that we're told. And I don't know what the truth is about it all. That's not my area of expertise. And I'm not going to pretend to know things that I don't. But that's not the point. The point is not to get distracted by all the details about all these things. The point is the government wants to distract us. Notice it's always something. It's either vaccines or COVID infections or mask mandates or vaccine mandates, or it's Afghanistan, or it's George Floyd supposedly killed by a police officer, and it's always something. Or it's the Chiefs. Always the Chiefs. No matter what else is happening in the world that's going on, if the Chiefs are playing football in the Kansas City area, then forget Afghanistan, forget COVID, forget everything else. It's all about the Chiefs playing football. I hate sports. I hate sports too. People get hurt playing football and some other dangerous sports. The only true sport is chess, and nobody wants to play chess with me because I'll kick their ass. you know? And so that's the thing about it. I don't get along with humanity. I really don't. I love my roommate. I love my mom. And I get along great with a lot of the people in the floral department that I work with. You know, so I have some good people in my life, but the vast majority of humanity, they're selfish and stupid, and they hurt animals. Most are carnist. Most are carnist. They're not vegan. And if you don't know what veganism is, educate yourself, please. Veganism is basically just doing your best as much as possible and practical to not hurt animals, not hurt or kill animals. That's basically it. There's a much more official definition on the Vegan Society's website. But that's not even the main point of this video. But the truth of the matter is, I find myself in an interesting position because, my very existence, my life is threatened. My finances are a mess no matter how hard I work at my job because of taxation and the crazy medical bills and that way. Look, I wish I had just been born with a female body so that I didn't have testicles. And if I didn't have testicles, I wouldn't have needed an orchiectomy, in which case I wouldn't have needed to spend the $2,500 that I had to pay. The total was like $12,000 or whatever. My insurance at the time paid most of it. But I wouldn't have had to have surgery to remove my testicles and recover from that if I hadn't been born with them. Although technically, to be accurate, I probably would have complained of having a female body anyway. If I had, because there are problems with the female body. Basically, I hate the male and female body. But you know what? The truth of the matter is, I'm neither male nor female. I am burdened with glorious purpose. That's what I am. But I'm not a big fan of the male or female body. And this is something that people just don't get. And I have had, since I worked in the floral department, I'm not kidding, I have had 3 employees there ask me if I was gay or straight. Now, the thing is, I'm not offended by these kinds of things, although if you go and just, ask random customers in the store about their sexual orientation, they'll probably kick your ass and you know what I'm saying? I'm not bothered when people ask me this because people are curious about me because I'm so weird. But let me just set the record straight about whether I'm gay or straight. It don't matter, and it's none of your business. But honestly, I question myself on this all the time, and I'll still say I'm asexual because I've never had the feeling. Of wanting to have sex with somebody. I've never had that feeling. I had a dream when I was a teenager that I was a woman having sex with a man. It scared the hell out of me. But I've never had the desire or the thought that I want to do that. So bottom line is I'm just not sexually attracted to people, so I'm neither. I'm asexual, and that's so. But people find that boring. People would rather I be gay or straight because at least then they think they have a chance at dating me or having sex with me, but they're not going to. Here's a good one now. A long time ago, a friend suggested that when people try to talk me into having sex with them, that I say I'm HIV positive. Which is actually a really cool suggestion, except that I won't lie. I won't lie and say I have AIDS just to get people to stop trying to have sex with me. Plus, you would think I shouldn't have to go that far anyway. But I have something even better. Next time somebody tries to talk me into having sex with them, I'll tell them I'm unvaccinated. Because nobody wants to even be within 39 and a half feet of me when they know I'm unvaccinated. Because I know the COVID vaccines are poison anyway. It's just a minor thing. But That's a good one because I can, this way I can tell people the truth and people won't try to have sex with me. Believe it or not, some people have tried. I'm still on a dating website, by the way. And how dating websites are, and you make it very clear on your profile what you want and what you don't want and who you are. But people don't read your profile, and they send you random messages asking, what kind of sex you want to have. And I'm like, no, I don't have sex. I literally don't give a fuck. I don't do that. People just don't read dating profiles. So when I get these messages on this dating site, the dating site is actually called Butterfly, by the way. I just kind of troll them. They say things, and I just say completely random stuff in response. They might say well, I'm looking to have some fun, and I'm like, well, I can be fun. Do you play RuneScape? But with me, their idea of fun and my idea of fun is different, and it's just weird. Like I'm learning enough about the language people use to know that what they're saying is not literally what they're saying. Everything is a sexual innuendo with people. No matter what they say, they can make it sexual somehow. I don't know how people do that. But I mean, I guess to sum everything up is I'm just a real person. I speak what's on my mind as much as I can, And what the things I've told you in this video is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to me in my complicated life. In fact, nobody knows it better than my roommate who lives with me. We see all the dumb stuff that each other do, and it's awesome. It's exciting, and it's just life. It's real, and it's just cool because it's the real life. It's not filtered. It's not just a show. It's not fake. It's just real. We have real talks about subjects you can't even possibly imagine, and you will never know because that's just for us. But, I keep my circle of friends very limited because I hate vaccines. I hate animal abuse. I hate politics. I hate taxation. I hate football. I really hate football. I have to put up with it when you work at Hy-Vee, people they keep freaking out about the Chiefs. And if you don't live in the Kansas City area, if you're in some other country or some other state, you probably never even heard of the Chiefs. The Chiefs are like a Kansas City area football team, and so they're all the rage here. It's just weird. But oh man, I just needed to rant. I just needed to let off some stress because being at work and having to hear all the dumb things that employees and customers are all talking about, and I can't really say anything, nor do I really want to have a conversation with these people, but these things are not real. People are not really real when they're at work. People are not really real on the internet. I come pretty, thanks, Toad Possum. I hate football too. It's you're not alone. There are other football haters. Football's so boring and people get injured, But almost nothing that you see on the internet is real because it's all scripted. It's all just filtered and scripted and a presentation designed to get you to buy a certain product or whatever. And that's the thing is that I come the closest in my writing and my videos to being real as anyone, because I'm pretty real, but the more real I get, the more criticized I am, because I know how to be popular. Okay, I know how to be popular. I'm just not stupid enough to do it. Okay, I will tell you the way to be popular. The way to be popular, if you want to be popular, if you want people to like you, here's what you got to do. You got to go to church while wearing Chiefs wear a Chiefs shirt and go to church and call yourself a Christian, because then you get religious privilege if you're a Christian, and then you go join every dating website and then have sex with everybody who offers, or go get drunk and go at bars. If you want to be popular, if you want people to like you, you get drunk, go to bars, do all those kinds of things. But if you do that, just a warning, you might end up like my roommate. And trust me, you don't want to be that guy. Don't be that guy. But I know the secret recipe to being popular and liked by people. You basically have to be a yes man. You have to be like, just agree with everyone around you. No matter what they say, just agree with them. You basically have to lie. An honest person who really says what they think and doesn't agree with everyone is not going to be very well liked. To be well liked, you have to just agree with everybody. You just have to agree with everybody. You have to just pretend. Good term. Compliant sycophant. I don't know what a sycophant or a sycophant is. I am so going to have to look up that word later. But that just seems, compliant sycophant. That seemed like a very good term for what I'm describing. And I'm not that person. I'm not that person because a person who wants to be well liked and wants to do well in this life, they got to just take whatever vaccines the government wants them to take. They have to, just agree with their friends and family and coworkers. They got to have sex with people whether they want to or not, and they gotta at least pretend that they like watching football. You have to lie to get people to like you. You have to be a dishonest fool. And so if you are a dishonest fool or a compliant sycophant or whatever that is, I don't know how to pronounce it, then you can have people like you. You can have a big circle of friends, and you can feel loved. You can have anything you want in the world if you lie. If you lie and are dishonest enough to get it. But what benefit is it if you gain the whole world and lose your soul? And I've been thinking about this because, even though life is hard, don't get me wrong, life is hard. I work my butt off and the government takes my money and my roommate does dumb shit and there's a lot of scary stuff happening in the world. Life is hard sometimes. But I will tell you this. I would not change myself to please people. I would not change myself to please people and be what they want me to be because I'm not a compliant sycophant. Because even if I could have all the money in the world and even if I could have anything I want, I've chosen honesty. And I'm going to be honest about who I really am and what I really think. And I'm going to continue to do that, even though I'm limited, because we live in a time of great censorship in person and on the internet. And so most of you will never really get to know who I am. You'll never have the opportunity. But I do want you to know this, is that I personally feel that being honest is worth it, because that's who I am. I'm an honest soul. I am so rare. I am extremely rare. There are not very many people like me. And I don't say this to brag. I just literally mean that there are very few people who actually speak the truth. And even those who do speak the truth, they only share the bits of the truth that they already know are, socially acceptable, And so people limit themselves, and I don't like to limit myself. I like to just be real. I like to say what I really think. And the the way I live my life is different than other people, but that's okay. We each have our own life to live. We should not all be clones of each other. And I feel like that's what the government wants. That's what the government wants. That's what the military wants. That's what schools want. They want a bunch of compliant sycophants. Yeah, I'm going to put that back on the screen. That is good. Compliant sycophant. Actually, okay, while I'm on the live stream, I'm going to look up sycophant. I got to do it. Okay. Sycophant. I've got to look this word up. I also want to use this in words with friends for some reason. A person who acts obsequiously towards someone important in order to gain advantage. It has similar words: toady, creep, crawler, fawner, flatterer, flunky. Let's see. Wow. So basically, yeah, I get it. So I get it. So basically, exactly what I'm describing, where you say what people want to hear, so that, oh, thanks, Toad Possum. Yes, a person who acts obsequiously towards someone important in order to gain advantage. And so that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people will be dishonest. They'll change themselves or lie about themselves in order to get more money or to get to keep their job or whatever. Someone will do all kinds of things. I mean, look at all these things that people say, all the lies people tell to people just to get them to have sex with them. Like, it's creepy as hell. Like, or, because you know how they do. Like, people say, oh, well, I love you and I'll be with you forever, just to get the person to have sex with them. Then the person has sex with them, and then they dump them and they never hear from them again. That's just the way people are. People are liars. We live in a world full of compliant sycophants. Oh, we got another part here. Obedient or attentive to an excessive or servile degree. Interesting. Yeah, so don't be a compliant sycophant. Yeah, don't do it. It ain't worth it. Also, don't be an alcoholic. Trust me on this. I've lived with one. It ain't easy. But yeah, you know what? Life is hard. I may still be in financial ruin, but when I just get to say how I feel better. Also, I have been up since like 4 in the morning. Oh, it's been a crazy night. You wouldn't believe it. But I'm not going to get into all that. I'm waking up, and I have a good life with my roommate. And later on, I'll be visiting my mom today. But I needed to, yes, they lose their authentic self while manipulating others. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And let me find that thing. I have something. Okay. There is a verse in the Bible, and this is one of those verses that really sticks with me. In fact, I'm going to try to see if I can screen share this, because I don't usually share Bible verses because I'm not a Christian. But this is so good. It's so on point with what I am talking about that I've got to share this. Okay, let's see if I can do. Okay, here it is. Okay, can you all see this? Yes. Okay, there it is. Here it is, Matthew 16:26. Okay, what good will it be for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give it in exchange for their soul? That's the New International Version, and then there's New Living Translation. And what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? Is anything worth more than your soul? And there's English Standard Version. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul? Or what shall a man give in return for his soul? They all basically say the same thing. But basically, it's saying, is there anything in this world that is worth more than your soul? And by soul, I'm not even, now, I do believe in the immortal soul. Okay, I do believe in the immortal soul. Now, I didn't used to, but I do now. But understand the soul, whether it lives on or after you die, or if it's only for this life. Understand the soul as the core of who you actually are, your authentic self, as Toad Possum said. Yeah, they lose their authentic self while manipulating others. And that's what I'm talking about, people. So don't lose your authentic self. Don't lose your soul. Don't be a compliant sycophant. Don't be that guy. Just don't be that guy. You don't want to. It's not worth it. And so I don't know what's going to happen to me. I really don't. And I hope that, I'm going to need a financial miracle, and I also need to keep my job. I love my job. I'm good at my job, and I just don't want this vaccine mandate to ruin it. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I'll tell you one thing. I will not lie to keep my job, and I won't take a vaccine either. Because if people can get you to put things into your body that you don't want, they basically own you. You don't even have the right to your own body. And I call that rape. I call that rape when people force things into your body that you don't want. And as somebody who was molested and anally raped at the age of 2, that brings back some bad memories. And so I'm not afraid to say it, but President Joe Biden is a rapist. And I believe that with all my heart. I don't like him. And I think all of us can see that something is wrong, but a lot of us really don't know how to fight against it. How do you fight the government? How do you? I don't know. But I am a rare one because I say these things knowing I could be punished, knowing I could be killed for saying these things. It is possible. I'm not joking. In many countries, if you speak out against anything that someone in the government does, they come and kill you. And I feel like the US is turning into a place like this. This is like Soviet Russia. This is communist China. This is Nazi Germany. That's what America is turning into. And there's me and another 80 million Americans that can apparently see it. And I didn't even mean to get into all that, but I'm emotional right now. And I'm very tired and stressed out and very emotional. But I'm being real. This is what I actually think. And I'm glad I got to talk about the soul, because I believe in the soul. And I believe that we each have a core to who we are. Does China have vaccine mandates? They probably do. In fact, I can look that up. They probably do. But don't lose your soul. Don't be a compliant sycophant. And don't be an alcoholic.
Don't be an alcoholic.
Hey, do you want to come tell the river? Don't be an alcoholic.
Let me tell you people something.
Yeah. Don't be this guy.
Don't be this guy.
Yeah, don't be this guy.
I lost my wallet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. This is what happens when.
Highly do not recommend being an alcoholic.
Yeah, because when you go out for more alcohol at 3 or 4 in the morning, and then you end up losing your wallet because you're drunk and you don't know what you're doing.
So don't do it.
Don't be that guy. Oh, well, I believe we've said it all. I guess that's all for now. Stay tuned for the next episode. Leave your comments or questions, and let me know if there's anything you'd like me to talk about in the next live stream, because I don't know what's going to happen. But right now, I am here in my apartment with my roommate, and I feel good after being able to speak my mind. It feels good, because I just spent 45 minutes telling you everything straight from my heart and what I really think. And I can't respond like that at work. And that's why people need to not ask me such questions at work. It's also probably not good to be questioning people's sexual orientation while at work either. I'm not mad about that, so I never reported people for doing that, because I feel like I have to be a public educator when it comes to, sexuality and transgender issues, because people ask me all kinds of questions. And the only reason people ask me those kinds of questions is because I don't just publicly display it like everyone else. Everybody else makes sure everybody knows how gay or straight they are. They make sure that everybody knows. Whereas I don't talk about sex at work, partly because there's nothing to talk about, because I don't do it. And the point is to sell the flowers. Okay, I've had my rant. I'm gonna end this live stream before it gets any worse. But don't be a compliant sycophant, and don't be an alcoholic. I know I normally share all the rules of Stream Club with you, but for right now, these two rules are important. Don't be a compliant sycophant, and don't be an alcoholic. I may need to add those to the rules of Stream Club. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Have a good day.